Every single significant pig-producing country in the world, bar one, still uses sow stalls. They must have something going for them for the sows.
The UK, Sweden, Finland, the Netherlands, no less than 7 states in America have all banned or are phasing out sow stalls. Why are we dragging the chain?
The only significant country in the world that has banned sow stalls in terms of pig production is the UK. They did it in 1999. Since then, their industry has been in free fall. It's a disaster. It's about half the size that it was in 1999. Are their sows any better off? No. The Brits are eating imported pork now, not their own. That's what happens when the agenda gets taken over by activists. It's a political decision. It's not good for sows. The guys went out of business. And here you are with a country that used to be a real player in the international pig market. Their business is ruined and they're importing all their pork. Sow stalls are good for sows.
So it's not about the sows, it's about the business.
No, it's about the sows. You look after the pigs, they'll look after you. There is no one with a greater incentive to look after pigs than a pig farmer. His livelihood depends on it. That's where he gets it from.
So why don't you move to phase out, why don't you move to get rid of sow stalls before 2017? Why is it going to take you another 8 years?
The industry position is that the right way to manage a sow today is to give it early pregnancy protection in a sow stall. The alternative to that is unpalatable because it's very cruel. After that period, we advocate free group housing situation. A lot of farmers are doing that today. Some farmers, and the code still allows till 2017, that full pregnancy in a sow stall can happen. We don't want it to happen. We are working as fast as we can as an industry to change that. But there's some realities out there about the cost of that transition, and it's a reasonable thing. I don't want to put pig farmers out of business. I want them to manage that transition in a way that doesn't compromise the welfare of the pigs. We are working as fast as we can as an industry to change that, but it's going to take a bit of time. It doesn't happen overnight, and you can't expect the cost on the industry to be just spent and flick a switch and tomorrow that it's a new day.
So it's dollars and cents?
No, it's about looking after pigs.
No, that's what you're saying.
And in the end,
that's what you're telling me.
It's
about the business. You're not making sense, Mr. Spencer.
Listen,
because
Liam,
you've just told me.
No one in the world.
You've just told me. Listen to what you're saying. You're just sitting here telling me that sow stalls are okay.
Sow stalls are more than okay. They're fantastic, and sows love them.
And then you're telling me the industry wants to phase them out after 2017 because that's the right thing to do.
No, Liam, I'm saying...
You can't have it both ways.
I'm saying that the industry position and the best possible way, scientific research, the best possible way to look after a sow is to give it early pregnancy protection in a stall.
So why don't you advocate for sow stalls to stay forever?
Later, you mix them up, because that's not the best for the sow. Later, you mix them up in a group housing situation. The research says when you compare in early pregnancy sows in stalls versus sows in group housing, the ones in stalls are less stressed, less injured, have fewer pregnancies lost compared to the ones in the group housing. Late in pregnancy, the ones in stalls are more stressed and have lameness issues. So it's better to have them in group housing. I'm not telling you that stalls are the answer for the full pregnancy, but they are a very important tool in early pregnancy to protect that sow. And without them, the implications for that sow are pretty horrific. That's the industry position. That's what we're moving towards as fast as we can.
You're not getting rid of them at all, though, are you?
No, we're not getting rid of stalls. That wouldn't be good for pigs. That wouldn't be good for sows.
You'll never get rid of them?
I would get rid of them tomorrow if you can give me a system that guarantees that the sows are as well looked after as they are in the stalls. They can have some freedom of movement too, maybe. It's not high on their priority list. But if you can find me a system that gives me that, I'll change over to that too. But there is no system.
Well, you haven't
Scientific research keeps coming back to these basic comparisons.
You haven't seen free-range hickories?
Free range is a consumer preference for a particular type of production system. There are many types of production systems, and they all have their challenges. Free range...
I've just given you a solution.
No, free range is not the solution.
Why
free
not?
range has no guarantee of good animal welfare with it. The biggest single determinant of welfare of pigs is not the production system. It's the quality and competency of the stock person who's looking after those pigs.
They banned them in the UK because they came to the conclusion, quite simply, they were cruel.
They were wrong. And the alternative to sow stalls, which is group housing in early pregnancy, is cruel. And that's where you're going to find injured sows with broken legs and broken pelvises. And where's Animals Australia then? Well, they've moved their agenda on to the next thing, because all they're going to do is keep attacking the practices of my industry until we cease to exist. That's their agenda.